WWE WrestleMania. Once again, man, I don't know why. I don't know if it's the quarantine, but all I've been doing is watching wrestling. Whole lot of wrestling going on this way, folks. And while watching wrestling, of course, WrestleMania 36 just passed by. The Night of Immortals, the champion of champions, everybody was there in full effect except one person. We know Roman Reigns couldn't be there because he has health issues, but it was a good night, man. It was a good night full of energy. I did not expect it to go the way it went, with no crowd interaction, with no one in the stands, with a lot of talking. I mean, we could hear everything. You could literally hear everything. And I didn't think that would be good for the WWE, but ultimately it worked out in my opinion. A lot of people said the show should have been postponed. The show should have not went on, but to me, I think it was a good show. You got Gronk winning the title. Thought that was pretty good. Let me get into the things I liked about WrestleMania real quick. So, we'll jump right into it. First and foremost, my favorite thing about WrestleMania, ultimately, and I think this was everybody's favorite thing about WrestleMania that night, was the Boneyard match between The Undertaker and AJ Styles. I mean, this, folks, was entertainment at its finest. I don't know if you're wrestling fans, but if you are not, wrestling is not supposed to be scripted this much. I mean, it is scripted, but the way they did this, cinematic beauty. You got The Undertaker getting challenged by AJ Styles about being old. He challenges to an old school boneyard match in Undertaker's home, in his own backyard, and the boys fight it out. Undertaker is just so mythical and mystical. You could believe some of the things that you were seeing there last night, and it was only because if you're a real fan, you know The Undertaker never dies. AJ, he went down. It was bad for him, but the WWE put together a dramatic, scripted mini movie, and I loved it. It was amazing. Boneyard match, enjoyed it. These photos are courtesy of the WWE as well. What I did not like, I was not a fan of the Edge and Randy Orton last man standing match. It went on too long, man, for there not to be no interaction. They tried to take it back to the gym area, and it just did not work for me. Too slow. Pace didn't pick up enough. Wasn't a fan. Didn't like the ending. Wasn't for me. Match wasn't for me. I loved the triple threat tag team ladder match that occurred. Although a ladder match it's kind of weird to think that a tag team ladder match occurs when with 3 people. But getting some inside information from my boy Tony Christian, he told me that they canceled the triple threat tag team match because of course, COVID. You can't have 6 people in the ring at one time. It's a danger. It's a threat. But they did a great job, in my opinion, still fighting Johnny Uso, Kofi Kingston, Johnny Nitro. Sorry, not Johnny Nitro. Johnny Nitro. What am I talking about? Did their thing out there, man. They did their thing. Ultimately, coming up with the world champions, The Miz. Is it Johnny Nitro? See, I told you, I'm not a huge wrestling fan, man. I'm not back in my wrestling bag like I should be. I want to make sure I get the facts right for y'all, so I'm going to get the name right. But I love that match. That showed you that you was dealing with some of the greatest athletes in this world. John Morrison. I don't know why I call him Johnny Nitro. John Morrison used to be his partner. What I did not like, the squish matches, man. Like Brock and Drew McIntyre, he wins the match in 5 minutes. Like, I know Brock doesn't wrestle much. I know he's a champion. I know he's not scheduled to be on every card, but you gotta give me more than 5 minutes, man. And Drew McIntyre, although he's the guy that's been touted as the next big thing for 10 years and finally got his moment, very anticlimactic, happening with no crowd. Didn't like it. Also, Goldberg, Braun Strowman, 4 spears, 4 body slams. Get out of here, man. Wasn't enough for me personally. I was not a fan of that match in particular. But what do I know, man? Maybe the fans loved it. Maybe they want to see Braun Strowman win in that fashion. And maybe they like seeing Goldberg continue to come back year after year and get squished. I ain't a fan of it. Last but not least, what did I love about this WrestleMania? Once again, the fiery funhouse match between John Cena and Bray Wyatt. Had a little fun with John Cena there, taking him through different eras. You know, we know John Cena is the greatest wrestler in the history of the sport, 16th-time champion. Took him to the NWO era, showed him a little Hollywood Hulk Hogan in him, and it was dope, man. These matches, I'm here for them. WWE touched me with those. The Beast, the Freak, Bray Wyatt gets the victory. We saw John Cena lose ultimately, but it was a great story. The way they took us through it all, I enjoyed it. WWE, continue. I'm with you, man.